Cassie is set to testify within the next 10 to 15 minutes, but Diddy's defense team has basically thrown a curveball and asked for them not to allow her husband, Alex Fine, to be in the courtroom because he may be a witness later on. So now, if they do approve that or he rules in favor of that, that means her husband won't even be able to be in the courtroom for moral support. I think it's definitely a strategic move on the defense team.
To get Cassie's husband banned from the courtroom while she was testifying. Now listen, they discussed so much. I had the jury makeup. I'm live in trial, but I'm telling you guys the stuff that CNN, TMZ, and all these people can't tell you. Probably because I got out the courtroom first.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. Listen, I'll tell you right now, whatever you think you're going through, just be happy you are not Cassie's husband. If you ask me, Diddy was trying to help him out by actually banning him from being in the courtroom. I guess the husband thought he was going to be there, you know, for some moral and support. Or maybe he was going in there for his own selfish needs, which means he needed to just hear everything for himself instead of hearing the accusation in the news. I don't know which angle he went with, you know what I mean? But if you ask me, wow, I believe the way he looks at her now is definitely tainted. It has to be. The things that she had to testify and say that she was doing, and what the other witnesses said that she was doing, and what she was with, and what she actually was requesting. I'm gonna tell you like this. Imagine marrying a woman and you have to go to a court hearing and you're hearing that she wants a golden shower. She wants a golden shower. Matter of fact, you going too fast. You need to slow it up. She wanted in slow time. She wants to taste the saltine. I don't understand how that works right there, but listen, this is just gonna get crazy. I suggest any family members to fall back and don't show up. Sit back and react with your boy. If you like reactions like this, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel, and most definitely hit that notification bell. Let's get this channel over 50K. Listen, right now we're gonna sit back and react to live updates from the actual trial. And last but not least, I'd like to give Brooklyn Squad Advocate a big shout out for putting this video together. They are actually at the courthouse every day putting a live update. Check them out on TikTok. Let's roll the clip. Let's go.
So what actually happened? Y'all, it was actually really incredible. It's raining too, so I have my umbrella. It's actually really incredible, okay? So they ended with Philip. He was Cassie's friend, that slash freak off person, and he ended his testimony. Now, it was really, really good because they had Xavier actually cross-examine him. That's the other, there's only 2 black lawyers on Diddy's team. This was a man. He was actually really, really good. He knows procedure, and he's really, really good with objections, okay? So he came in and he like literally was going in on Philip, saying, didn't you say you were jealous? Didn't you say you were in love with Cassie? Didn't you say Diddy never directed y'all? And he was like, the guy was like, incorrect. And he was like, let me direct your attention. And he brought up an interview he had did with the federal prosecutors in December 2023 and also May of 2024 and October 2024. I said, oh my God, did they just get this man on perjury? But get this, Philip, that's the witness, baby, he had was large. And oh, I want to see the fit check. I'm still in my Hillary baked stuff, but you know, it's raining in New York. So anyway, Philip, I'm going to get to how Diddy tried to get Cassie's husband banned. It was such a tense standoff, okay? So Philip was like, I never said that. I don't remember saying that. And he was like, oh, you didn't? Let me refresh your memory. And he showed him like his old, I guess, statements he had made to the feds. So it looked like, oh my God. And I kept wondering, why isn't the prosecution going in being like, Your Honor, we object. Your Honor, we object. This didn't happen. But anyway, prosecution just let that slide. So after Xavier was done hammering Philip on the witness stand, they said, Your Honor, can we redirect? And he said, go ahead. They started redirecting and they were like, did you read these statements that you gave the feds? And he was like, no, I didn't. They said, did anybody give it to you to review? He said, no, I didn't. Why is that important? Because whenever somebody gives you, you make statements and they're going to use it in court, they should always let you review the statements, because you could say like, yo, I wasn't really that hungry. And then they write down, oh, he had already eaten. You need to review the statement so you can be like, no. I didn't eat, but I also wasn't hungry. It needs to be exact. So anyway, we were like, okay, so sorry guys. So anyway, the prosecution got back up and they're like, did you read it? And he was like, no, I did not, ma'am. And he was like, did he direct you? Absolutely. How did he direct you? He would tell Cassie, give me sloppy toppy. He would tell us how to rub baby oil on each other. It was really, really embarrassing for Diddy's team because, again, Philip, just like the head of security, super strong witness. Super strong witness. Okay, I'm going to go in more detail on live later on tonight, but I want to get to the Diddy stuff before I have to go back in. Okay, so what else happened, okay? Diddy being, something wrong with that man, right? He literally stood up in court, right? He stood up in court. Hey, Allie, welcome to the Telltales family. Thank you for becoming a member. I'll take questions in a second at a time. I'm just trying to get this out before I have to go back into court, okay? Where were we? Oh, yeah, that's right, talking trash. So anyway, let me get my notebook out because I took notes on this. Actually, I don't need my notebook. I'm going to give y'all my memory. I'll go into notes later on. So all of a sudden, they said, okay, so Cassie's the next person to take the stand. Now, we heard this because the attorneys had a sidebar, right? I could hear them talking. Cassie was about to take the stand. And at the last minute, Diddy's trifling team was like, honestly, Your Honor, Tinny Garrigo stood up. Your Honor, honestly, I really don't know. No, they said, we want to invoke, it was rule, I don't know, let's just say it's rule 16. I forget the name of the rule. But they were like, yo, we want to invoke the rule. And when I heard that, I was like, yo, that's the rule about like whenever there is testimony, you can actually exclude people from court from watching it. And they were like, he was like, what's the basis? They literally said that Alex Fine, they have a bunch of text messages that Alex Fine had sent Diddy back in 2018, basically saying, you MFer, I'm going to F you up if I ever catch you on the street. That's your ASS. He literally was cursing Diddy out. Hey, what's up, Slowrilla? Oh, thank you. You said, love the commentary and personality. Thank you, Slowrilla. Anyway, they said they had text messages from Alex back in 2018 talking about something, oh, I'm going to F you up. I'm going to do this. I better never catch you outside. How about that? And I said, I mean, that's fair enough. He did rescue his wife from being sex trafficked and helped her get sober, held her down. And I'm sure she'd been crying in his man's arms every night about the way Diddy actually treated her, right? So anyway, they said they had messages from Alex back in 2018 saying, MFer, I will break your face open. I will murk you. Like, Alex was on a roll. He was in the trial also. And while Cassie was testifying, we'll get to that, okay? So he was like saying that. And they were like, because of that, he threatened the client's life. And we don't think that he should be in the courtroom. And then they had the nerve to say, they were talking to the judge, right? And this is why y'all gotta tune in live while I'm in the courtroom, because half of the court reporters had already left. I was just being nosy, listening to the sidebar, okay? So they were like, and Diddy just doesn't feel comfortable with Alex in here because he's previously threatened his life. And I said, no, he didn't. Then they went on to say, besides, she already has a support system. She has her family and her brother's here, and he's fine to be here. But Alex, no, we're gonna have to ask him to leave. And I said, listen, one thing that's being established in this trial is Diddy is diabolical. Diddy is maniacal in his need for control. So, for instance, when Philip, that's who testimony in today, Cassie's, but they were friends too. They had a relationship. When I say relationship, maybe not, not romantic, but he definitely cared about her, right? He got up to leave, and this boy is like swole, like he looked like The Rock walking by. Again, dark skin. They said Diddy liked to see those white fingernails wrapped around that BBC, right? So anyway, when he did that and he got off the witness stand and was walking out, Diddy for no reason stood up and just looked at him as he went out. Boy, you are in federal detention. What are you running? Who are you running? I don't know what lullabies those roaches and rats are whispering in your ear, but you need to stop. It was actually really, really ridiculous. So anyway, I gotta go in a second, but let me finish the story. So anyway, the prosecution jumped up and was like, no, first of all, when we talked to her, we're talking about things prior to 2018 to which Alex wasn't a part of. So how can you invoke this rule? On top of that, basically, I'm paraphrasing, who are you to tell her who her support system can be? And it's sick to me that Diddy's such a control freak that he wanted to try to get Alex out of there. So when Cassie waddled in, she looked absolutely gorgeous. She was wearing a long, a maxi turtleneck dress.
Man, I can care less what she was wearing. I'm going to tell you like this. It's better that he wasn't there. What man wants to hear these kind of things? These are the type of things you take to the grave with you. And now she's being forced to actually say it. So I don't even think their relationship is going to be straight after this right here. Because every time now, he's going to be rethinking what he heard out of her mouth and the witness mouth. Saying homie got the biggest she ever saw, pause. And she likes the golden showers trickling down her face while Diddy's watching. Let alone he had to hear it. Her family had to hear it. Brother, mother, whoever else is involved right there. But as a parent, I don't want to hear nothing like that. I'm not showing up. I'll show up, but as soon as I'll tell the lawyer, listen, once you know they're going to go to those questions, let me get a head nod and I'm going to walk up out of here. I don't want to hear these type of things. You know, I don't know what Cassie was going through in her life, but she must have wanted fame that bad that she was willing to do all of these weird things. That's the only way I see it. I'm not victim shaming or anything like that, but let's be serious right now. You know what I mean? Let's be real. If there was no money involved, would she have been doing what she did? No. You understand what I'm saying? So hey, let's continue with this.
She's the prettiest pregnant woman. I mean, all pregnant women are beautiful. I love seeing pregnant women, but she looked really, really gorgeous, right? Also, don't listen to anybody talking about Diddy looks gone. Diddy looks better now than he ever did with Young Miami. He looks like he's been getting sleep. Because when he was in Young Miami, he just looked like he was on no-dose, and that Tucci had him up doing the Harlem Shake at like 8 in the morning. And he hadn't been to bed since Hannah had puppies 3 days ago. Anyway, the prosecution was like, no. Like, why can't her husband be here? Like, are you serious? And they're like, my client. Anyway, get this. The judge was like, well, because the defendant can actually exclude people from court. And it's crazy to me that Diddy literally tried to exclude Alex from court. Okay. So all that happened, right? And so all that happened. And then what happened after that? So anyway, the judge was like, well, it's their call. So then Mark Agnifilio, he saw me today and went, he gave me like a little screw face, a professional screw face. But I guess he heard the fact that I said his new haircut makes him look like Chicken Little, right? So anyway, Mark Agnifilio, Anna, they all like convened and they were all talking. And then they were like, you know what? And I said, it's all about power and control. They were like, you know what? He can stay for now. But when it comes to anything about 2018, then he's going to have to leave. And Diddy sat there just looking smug. And I said, this man just won't leave Cassie alone. Anyway, Alex was there while Cassie was testifying. And he was turning red with like rage, emotion, not tears.
I'm telling you, he is going to be scorned for the rest of his life. It's never going to be the same. Once he heard what he heard, you can't unhear it anymore. I'm telling you how a man thinks.
Rage, emotion, he looked... But I can understand, right? The woman you love, the mother of your children, while she is carrying your child, is recounting how this monster literally actually did you in. All right, Cassie's brother was there. Cassie's brother, handsome, just like Cassie's beautiful. So, the weirdest thing is, let me tell you something. Anything the Combs do is all fanfare. Remember yesterday it was like, oh my God, Diddy's daughters left the trial 2 times. Left the trial 2 times while the sex worker was testifying. And I said, okay, maybe. But then you actually got Cassie up there and they're showing the video and she's testifying to the way, and they was all sitting there. One of the twins was trying to look over so they could all look Cassie in her face. They were all sitting there looking Cassie in her face. And I'm like, so you got to leave about the sex workers, but hearing your dad drop kick someone and seeing the person pregnant, you're fine with that? And it just made me look at that family and be like, yo,
she got a point.
What do you guys really value? I will also say this. When I was sitting there and Cassie was, and people were talking, and even the sex worker, when he was talking about the violence he saw and the way it shattered him, I was like, yo.
She got a point right there, though. How y'all gonna pick and choose why you wanna leave? You're gonna stay in the courtroom to watch the video of the physical abuse? No issue with that, right? But as soon as they start telling you that your dad is a fan, you know, a freaky ass, you know what I'm saying? A freaky ass ninja, then all of a sudden it's, you know what, this too much. I can't take this. If you're talking about her, we cool with that. We cool. Anything that happened to her, we cool. But when it comes to daddy, no. Nah, we'll be back. Let us know when you're done with that. Nah, that's being selective right there.
Oh, so I was sitting there and I was like, yo, I wonder what it's like to be ex. Because while it was happening, they were talking about the violence. Misa was sitting there stone faced. Sarah Chapman was sitting there stone faced. Dana Tran was sitting there stone faced. The kids were like trying to look Cassie in her face. I guess, I don't know why would you want that, but they weren't leaving. That's how you know them leaving yesterday, I think, was all cap, because you were here for this, right? And your delicate ears could hear this. But it made me wonder, like, what do those women feel? Because if somebody was describing my dad or my brother doing that, I would have been, y'all already know it, I would have been dramatic. Like, oh, Susan Connor, thank you so much for the super chat. And Glennis Bolton, thank you so much. In the rain and all, showing you some love. Oh, thank you, Mama. I'm going to text you. Thank you. Shelly Mannon, welcome to the Tattletales family. But I really started to think, what do these women feel? Do they feel like, oh, so what, she put in 20 on 10? Do they feel anger? Do they feel jealousy that Cassie had the BALLs to literally hold them accountable when they're still sitting there until the money runs out?
I feel like those kids are all hostages at the same time. You understand? And right now, their money supply has been cut short. So they like, listen, dad could do no wrong. We need that money to come in long. Pause. Hey, I don't know, man. This situation is kind of messed up when the family's involved, huh? It ain't cool when the family feud. But with that being said, you did it to yourself, Diddy. You did it to yourself. You should have went about this behind closed doors. As far as like, I don't really know what they charging him at this point. I don't see no RICO. All I see is just a freaky ass dude doing freaky ass things. I don't see nothing wrong with just that. Now, as far as the putting hands on Shorty, that's where he went wrong at. You understand what I'm saying? He went wrong with that right there. But if you ask me, some of these stories sound consensual. It's just a lot of people are putting their own personal twist to it. You know, being how their upbringing is, how they're putting how they perceive things on everyone. And that's not the right way to do it. Sometimes you got to rationalize and use logic. Don't put your feelings into the situation that got nothing to do with you. I don't know, man. This situation is really foul right here. For the husband, I already know she's like, I'm about to lose this guy. But she probably could care less. She got all the millions that she just got from the Diddy lawsuit. And who knows if she made him sign a prenup or whatever. But they got 3 kids. Hey, look, my boy, you know what you was getting yourself into. There's no reason for you to get upset at this point. You actually took the girl from someone. Not saying you really took her, because no one has that kind of power, but she allowed you to come in between and distract the situation from where she was at. And now you have her. So you should have said, the same way I got her, somebody else could get her from me. But I guess you didn't think about that. And you didn't think about, well, I'm sure you had to at least know some of these situations that we're hearing today. I guess now you probably like, it's really true. Maybe she's been lying to you, and now she had to tell the truth because she didn't want to commit perjury. Oh, man. Like I said, this is a tight situation right here. And they just said she's also pregnant. So just imagine that. You know, hopefully she has a good pregnancy and this doesn't interfere with any of that. But y'all all got what y'all were looking for at the end of the day. Everyone in this situation got what they was looking for. That's the only way I could call it. For you to be with somebody all these years and they being abusive says a lot about you right there. You know what I mean? I don't care what anybody say. You have enough time to leave, enough time to get help, and you decided not to because the fame was, I guess, the prize. That was bigger than everything in your life right now. So you said, okay, you know, I'll take these beatings. I'll take this. I'll take that. Because once he bought you the first gift after he did something wrong and you accepted it, That's where you went wrong at, baby girl. Hey, listen, like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. Don't forget, make sure you go ahead and check her channel out, or should I say her TikTok. See you guys in the next one. Love.